long it takes me to record when I actually see something.
I know, I need like a head mount thing. It'd look
I think I
pretty
found that
stupid,
milk
but
over in here somewhere. That first one. It wasn't that far in.
well, yeah, and then the other one was right down here.
The other one I found down there.
See, look at this big frickin'.
There's all kinds of shit up there. I've thrown shit up there too.
I know, I figured. I'm like, somebody must have passed it. I bet this was part of a milk.
It was. Let's see.
Oh, I'm not doing very good recording this. I'll do most of that tomorrow.
Most of the ones in the river.
Well, hey everybody. So I'm finally on the last leg of my crazy adventure in the past week or so. And here's the recap of, this is just the first part of the stuff that I found. And I guess I could technically label all this the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ugly doesn't always mean bad though, I think, as everybody knows. So to start off with, yeah, I didn't tap the Rockies, I tapped the Smokies, but this is the only stuff I could find at the Circle K gas station here, and it was warm. They don't chill the beer there. It's the South, you know, it's whatever. It is what it is. I love Coors Light. One of my favorite beers, next to Yuengling, which I had plenty of the past few days. I still gotta find some to take back up north with me though. That's an issue, so hang on. All right, nice step down there. All right, River Walking Finds from Illinois. I'm trying to get this to work a little better here. Most people probably wouldn't keep the majority of what I did. And a lot of these too, they came out of a bottle dump. First one I ever got to really truly deal with. I've seen so many videos on YouTube that just to see it in person, it was surreal to me. I had so much fun. And Jason, thank you, you know, for everything. You're the best guide of all time. I don't care if you believe that or not, coming out of my mouth. It's a fact. Old Shell Button, not so old. Big Light button I found on the bottom of the river when we were out there. Oh, here's a little bit of ACL left on this bad boy. I have all of my bottle cleaning brushes are back home in Wisconsin. So that's why these look really bad right now. I've cleaned the external parts of these bottles the best I could without rubbing off like the ACL and ones such as that. But the insides, they're going to have to wait. I just couldn't wait to make this video. That's the whole thing. Pinex. Trademark something older, nothing too crazy. Nice little milk glass jar here, and this one, it's a Resinol. A lot of people I do believe I've seen these dug before. Balto, I love how they shorten that up. Baltimore, Maryland, Resinol Chemical Company. Here's another one that is very common as well. The old, pronounced both ways, Cheeseboro and Cheseboro, New York. That's how Vaseline used to go. It almost looks like a baby food jar, you know? maybe the same company made Gerber baby food jars and this too back in the day. As far as my rock finds go, this came from Illinois and it's freaking awesome. I'm gonna call it brecciated jasper. Very, like, just an incredible piece of that. It almost, I saw it like this, upside down on kind of a drier gravel bed area of this river where the water level had receded, and there's still a little bit of algae left on it. But I flipped it over and whoa, like that's some legit quartz right there, and the jasper mixed in. No, that is not a brick. Phenomenal piece. I'm not gonna mess with it by polishing or tumbling or anything like that. That would be silly. So, all right, last of this stuff here, I think, aside from, ooh, that was, hang on, this was a good piece. Most people would have chucked it up on the bank. See the bubbles? Look at that pommel, super indented. Yes, that's busted. Very heavy piece of like an old wine or champagne bottle, base of one, obviously. I would call this slag glass if I found pieces of it washed up on shore in Lake Michigan. Very cool. And another heavy piece. This thing has weight. Busted off top. I don't care. I pulled it up. I mean, I had a little bit of help. Somebody was like, hey, check out the shape of that. Tell me what you think. And, you know, I judged it and pulled it, and here it is. Beer, contents, 12 fluid ounces. And then, thankfully, my son Teddy has excellent eyes. And I had him read under a light here just a little bit ago the embossing that's around the base of this bottle, because it was difficult for me to try and decipher. So this is what he came up with, and I believe he is correct. This bottle never sold independently. Property of, and it's BRG, I'm never going to get it to show up here. Property of BRG ASS dot. I thought he was messing with me when he said that at first. And then it's property of BRG ASS dot N dot CHCO. So property of Brewing Association, Northern Chicago, Illinois. That's a bad boy. Very heavy. I think that's probably aqua glass once I get it home and cleaned up properly. Very fun. All right, so here is the last of the finds that I made, and all but one of these, I believe, are from Illinois. I'll do a Tennessee version of my trip at another time. It did not compare with the things that my friend and I found, well, that he helped me to find, I'll put it that way, in Illinois. So, two nice cobalt jars here. The old school Noxzema and a Vicks Vapor Rub. Obviously, I haven't cleaned that up yet. Very cool embossed, you know, wine bottle from Chicago. I think these are rather common, but I don't care. I'm keeping it because it's my first. Oh, there's a glass vial. How about that? Who knows what that was for? Maybe a perfume or something. Cologne, perhaps. I I thought this was very pretty. Look at the bluebird. And the detail. There's no, at least, well, on this portion of the broken plate, maybe it's from China. I don't care if it is or it isn't. It's pretty. I picked it up, cleaned it up, and I just love that bluebird. This, I believe, is from a light fixture of some sort. Either a lamp, like a floor lamp, or perhaps, you know, something that, ceiling kind of deal. Whatever. What do you call this? Oh, it's a handle. Duh. Oh my God. It's so, I'm getting tired. I've been driving a lot and, you know, whatever. Yeah. Kind of cool. Found that in the river. This I dug. There's some nice little scallop details on this little jar. Milk glass jar. All it says is made in the USA with the number 14 above it. I'm sorry, you can't see that. Rather cute. The cork, I don't recall which bottle this came out of, but it was in one of them. So there's an original cork that I'm going to keep for something. Libby Glass Company, Libby Owens Glass, I believe it's called now, from Toledo, Ohio, my hometown. I was told that most people don't keep stuff like this, you know. Somebody probably chucked it off the back porch of their house there on the river in Illinois and didn't care. I think it's about 7 years old or so. There's similar versions made nowadays for like restaurant ware that you can buy, but this one's different. And I've done some research. 2 ball mason jars. Jason found this one for sure initially, and he had me finish and dig it out and pull it out. I didn't record that of me doing it, and I'm fine with that. I had a blast just participating in the whole thing, and like I said, I've watched so many videos of people doing this kind of stuff before that I never fathomed seeing how it is in person, and it's pretty dangerous. I mean, I was, I guess, technically geared up initially for this. I probably could have protected myself a little bit better by wearing like jeans, even though it was about 100 degrees out in the shade. Oh, so much fun. Thankfully, I didn't get cut. I didn't get any poison ivy on me, which I do believe I walked through enough, so maybe I'm immune to it, but I'm not going to bank on that. That's for sure. 2 milks. I think this one I initially saw and got. And I believe this one was laying in the bottom of this little creek, already washed out of the banks. So they weren't hard to get at. But the ACL, that's why I haven't cleaned these up really at all. I don't want to mess with them until I get home. I really, you know, there's not much of this stuff left, but if you scrub that, it's gone, you know? So I don't even want to go there and say Jason and I discussed this initially when they were found, and I think one of them was a Borden's dairy from somewhere, but very cool. I would call this a creamer. That's a milk, bigger, you know. All right, so let's kind of wrap this up. 2 whiskeys, Black Gold. This one, obviously you can see why I haven't cleaned it yet. I want to keep that as long as I can, if at all possible. The ACL, or label rather. So I think it's technically a paper label. And then here is the embossed part of the bottle, same one. with the lid still on it. Black Gold. What's that say? Distillers. That's pretty cool. National Distillers. Never heard of this stuff. A crush bottle. One of the few things found in this very long creek walk we were on. I mean, there was a lot of navigating, some log jams, tree falls, whatever you want to call them. I think it was from 1956. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that one's a goner if I really try and scrub it up too much. Another bottle dump find. Off River. It's green. I kept it. Why not? All right. Lastly, I saw this sticking out of the edge of this giant, like, dirt bank on the edge of a creek. And it looked, you know, and it was in the shade. It was later in the afternoon. It looked like a piece of art glass. So I'm carefully digging around the edges here, the scalloped edges of this. And I wailed it, you know, and it came out. And I was like, no way. These things, seashells, are what started my obsession with collecting, for sure, when I was young, very young, going to Florida. This is a lightning bug, and it's fossilized. I can tell by the patina, the shape of the shell, the apex and the cone of it. It is not native to the Midwest, let me tell you that. If it is, I'll be famous for discovering it. I think maybe somebody might have had it in a collection and got thrown out when they passed away, or just didn't want it anymore. Who knows? Or it was in some landscaping of theirs. A lot of people put these outside and because they look pretty, you know, laying out around their hostas by the front porch. So I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a lightning bug. Very cool. That, I was stoked. I still am. That's hilarious to me. A fossilized one at that. So, all right. That's my quick wrap up. Sorry it was so long. Yeah, headed home tomorrow to Tornado Alley. Well, my house got smoked by one, so I guess the damage isn't as bad as I was expecting. Thank God we still have a roof, and you know, we don't have a farm with outbuildings and silos that got taken out like a lot of the dairy farms surrounding the small town where I live, which that's rough. That's a lot of insurance claims, but my basement flooded. So we have to deal with that. It's what it is. You know, going without power for 4 days, actually a little over when you're out of town, is not easy for anybody. So, all right. I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. All right. Good night.